What's up, y'all? Jax here, your one and only senpai with an encyclopedic knowledge of anime, manga, video games, hentai, and more, bringing you a brand new series in honor of Noir Caesar Entertainment's very first upcoming original anime, Fourth Rope. Get ready for high-flying interstellar hijinks, featuring the vocal talents of John Eric Bentley, Chris Sabat, and many, many more that we're very excited to reveal all throughout 2021 as Episode 1 prepares to launch on our upcoming app and brand new website dropping later this year. And speaking of a brand new year, I hate that it is 2021 and we've still got unmoisturized souls out here wildly wielding their rusted sword of ash as they prepare to die upon the hill that Goku could fold anyone. And before all the hit dogs rush hollering loudly and wrongly into the comments, let me just double check to make 100% sure I'm properly offending the right demographic with a fun visual example. Wow, this properly developed character from this well-written anime is really strong.
But can he be Goku though?
I decided it was finally time to answer that question once and for all, using all of the information available at our disposal, such as the confirmed and canonized series of events that takes place over the course of different series as anime and or manga, to see how our favorite characters would in fact stack up against the DBZ fandom's seemingly immortalized god, who, you know, has only been killed upwards of 5 times. It's important to remember that this whole series is just for fun, a bunch of objective research and examined imaginary scenarios presented to y'all as in-depth, informative, educational, and entertaining as I can make it. That said, there's going to be some pretty big spoilers throughout this series, and I'll do my best to avoid those by announcing when specific series canon spoilers will be present in my video, such as this one. First, some basic ground rules just to make things a bit more interesting. Each character's imaginary battle will take place in our world and adhere to real-world physics. For example, if Goku punches a tree hard enough, he can destroy it in any number of ways that are physiologically possible in our world and with all of the incurring consequences. I think it's safe to say most of the characters that I'll be listing in this series against Goku, including Goku himself, have world-destroying powers that would tear apart our innocent little Earth-chan and us as a subsequent human population with laughable ease. And I may or may not have just described the literal plot of an actual hentai doujin. Mind your business. That said, any powers that our combatants use cannot have an adverse, irreversible effect on the planet or its inhabitants as a whole. I'll just be going off the powers that these characters are canonically famous for using from within the fandom. Think of it like a Smash Brothers or a Pokemon battle. Each character will have a limited number of abilities and attacks they can pull from. However, powers that existed as one-offs in the movie, games, or any non-canon material that didn't later carry over to the official canon will not be included. All battles will take place in global locations with little to no human population that would feel the resulting fallout, such as Death Valley, Antarctica, or the suspiciously guarded Area 51, which, as recent events have taught us, is actually harder to break into than the capital. That said, let's kick things off with our first battle, located in the heart of what was once known as the Nevada National Security Testing Site, better known as the Nevada Test Site, or NTS, a desolate location once used for testing atomic bombs, and perfectly suitable for our first matchup, as you will soon see. Our first challenger is Naruto. For the sake of canonicity, we're going with the fully grown Naruto that appears in the highly controversial sequel Boruto and the current version of Goku. Let's start off with each character's base stats. Y'all, I cannot stress how ugly I laughed when I found out that canonically, Goku is listed as 5'9" or 175 centimeters and weighs in at 137 pounds or 62 kilograms. For context, I'm 5'8" and weigh 145. There's just an inch between us and I outweigh him by almost 10 pounds. Now, to be fair, Goku is more or less the Superman Jesus Christ metaphor given physical form. That form, as we've seen in the most extreme of cases when applied to the genres of shonen or really any action-packed male-centered series geared towards that particular demographic, is often physiologically tailored specifically to the hyper-masculine power fantasy, i.e. enormously huge and sculpted muscles or a set of lungs and vocal cords powerful enough to ensure you're still screaming and powering up that ultimate attack 2 whole episodes later. Moreover, the character of Goku himself is heavily inspired by Toriyama as a parody of the mythical Chinese hero Sun Wukong, better known as the Monkey King, and one of the central protagonists of the 16th century Chinese novel Journey to the West. Moreover, despite Goku not actually being human, that makes it a bit difficult to gauge what the average human-based height of someone from Goku's ethnic background would be. Some fans stick to the idea that because of Goku's Chinese origins, Goku himself is in fact Chinese, and with the average height of a Chinese male being anywhere between 5'4" and 5'7", that would give us one possible base to start from. However, others debate that because Toriyama himself is Japanese and was essentially spoofing Chinese culture, a major trend in Japanese anime at the time and still very prevalent today, that Goku should in fact be considered Japanese. And if that's the route we're going, then our base average height for today's Japanese male sits at between 5'2" and 5'8". TLDR, Goku is not meant to accurately represent the average Japanese male build any more than Barrett from Final Fantasy is meant to represent what the average black man looks like. For comparison, let's look at Naruto, who according to the official Master Sketchbook stands at 5'10" as of the Boruto movie and subsequent series. While I couldn't get an official weight form as of Boruto, I tried looking up Japanese actors who could potentially fit Naruto's body type appropriate for his age, somewhere between 32 and 33. The closest I could come was veteran actor Eita Nakayama, who is currently 38 years old and listed as exactly 5'10" and a half in height at 143 pounds. So already Naruto beats Goku in both height and weight. However, we all know what matters isn't the size of the magician nor their wand. The power that matters most, and the ones we're focusing on today, is that which rests deeply within each of our fighters as the core source of their ultimate strength. Fortunately, both Naruto and Goku are both working with your standard similar shonen protagonist powers. You've got your superhero strength, speed, durability, endurance, the ability to fly, a voracious appetite, and superhuman lungs for all of that yelling. For the sake of this battle, let's go ahead and quickly assign which powers they'd be using in this battle, and again, think of it like a Smash Brawl. Goku gets the Kamehameha, Spirit Bomb, Destructo Disc, and lastly, Kaioken. I chose these specifically because over the course of the series' canon, we've seen Goku doesn't necessarily need to be in Super Saiyan form to access these powers. For his ultimate attack and form, let's give him Mastered Ultra Instinct while also keeping in mind that he can only sustain this form for a short amount of time due to the great amount of strain it puts on his body. For our boy Naruto, we're throwing in the Rasengan, the Shadow Clone Jutsu, aka Hinata's favorite thing to do in the bedroom, Rasen Shuriken, and the Tailed Beast Ball, or Bomb, depending on the translation. For his ultimate form and attack, I'm listing not his six-path Sage mode, but his most recent and ultimate transformation as of Boruto, Baryon mode, which, for those not up to the dates with the events of Boruto, is essentially a life-draining combination of both Naruto and Kuruma's chakra. To give you an idea of just how strong this form is, Baryon is taken from the real-life subatomic particle. Essentially, Naruto and Kurama are pure nuclear energy with their chakras combining in a way very similar to nuclear fusion. However, also very much like Master Ultra Instinct, and as what tends to happen to the human body when overwhelmed with nuclear energy, this form comes with the major setback that it could kill both Naruto and Kurama by way of completely draining their chakra and destroying their body entirely. Now that we've got all of that established, how would the two fare in battle against one another? While it's true the claim stands that Goku has blinding speed on his side, which would make it difficult for Naruto to defend himself against, Naruto also inherited his father's incredible speed, something many people don't take into consideration when pairing these two against one another. Moreover, Naruto has been shown to be faster than his father in multiple respects of battle. If Naruto chose to employ his Shadow Clone Jutsu, that would make it difficult for Goku to focus on just one target, meaning Goku would expend more energy attacking the clones, which would give Naruto a perfect opening to use a quick Rasengan and catch Goku off guard while he's busy fending off the clones. A cheap shot, yeah, but definitely an effective one nonetheless. However, if Naruto were to use this attack against Goku's Spirit Bomb, then there might be some trouble. While the Rasengan can't be deflected, it could realistically be absorbed by Goku's Spirit Bomb, giving it more energy, which is essentially Naruto getting the equivalent of Inuyasha's Backlash Wave, where his own power combined with Goku's would be sent right back at him full force. Okay, so what about Naruto's Tailed Beast Bomb? Both the Spirit Bomb and Tailed Beast Bomb are a result of gathering energy from nature. However, as we've seen, the Spirit Bomb is capable of destroying entire solar systems, whereas the Tailed Beast Bomb has a very limited range. Ah, but remember the rules, children. We eliminated any possibility of Earth-destroying powers, so even if Goku did use the Spirit Bomb, he wouldn't be able to use it at full capacity. Even still, the Spirit Bomb would still outperform Naruto's Beast Bomb from the sheer impact of force alone. That leaves us with Goku's most famous attack, the Kamehameha, which power depends solely on the strength of its user, and Naruto's Tailed Beast Rasen Shuriken. Both are signature long-range attacks with devastating power. Whereas the Kamehameha is essentially an enormous blast of energy meant to overpower the opponent, Rasen Shuriken has the ability to cut through opponents as opposed to just forcing them back. Moreover, Rasen Shuriken comes with the bonus of being able to cause damage on a cellular level, essentially tearing apart, or at the very least severely crippling Goku's ki, which is imperative for him to perform most of his signature moves. It's pretty much like trying to fire a bullet from a jammed gun, and if we're going off physics, Goku's own power being crippled and him trying to use that power, which such damage has been done to his central ki network, would ultimately result in an internal ricochet effect, where it would do more damage to try and use ki-based attacks, leaving Goku to defend himself with hand-to-hand combat to minimize the damage while he recovers. Even if Goku took a direct hit, it's highly unlikely that the Rasen Shuriken would cut through him. The Kamehameha would still overwhelm Naruto again by sheer force alone if Goku did manage to avoid taking a direct hit, especially if he came back with the Kaioken Kamehameha. So let's say the battle is nearing its climax and both decide to unleash their ultimate forms. For Goku, we're looking at Mastered Ultra Instinct, and Naruto, we've got Baryon mode. This is what completely changes the game. If Baryon mode hadn't been introduced by the time of the writing of this script and Naruto had just gotten the Six Paths mode as his ultimate form, then without a doubt, while Naruto would have been able to rival Goku, ultimately it still would have resulted in Goku's win. Mastered Ultra Instinct relies on Goku separating his consciousness from his body, allowing Goku to fight independently of his thoughts and emotions, with the exception of Rage, which can be used to power this form even further. Mastered Ultra Instinct also differs from regular Ultra Instinct in that Mastered Ultra Instinct is no longer a god technique, but for all intents and purposes can be classified as an angel technique, as evidenced by Whis, who can use this power and many others with ease. That said, how does the combined pure nuclear power of what essentially are two gods stack up against the power of what is essentially an emotional celestial being bent on destruction? Well, that depends entirely on how long the battle lasts. Both Mastered Ultra Instinct and Baryon mode can easily result in the death of each character when pushed to its limits. In fact, the end result of Baryon mode is said to be death itself, which is why when we see Naruto use it as a last-ditch effort, Kurama asks Naruto if he's made peace with his death, to which Naruto responds that he was prepared to die the moment he became Hokage. A pretty awesome moment in the series, if I do say so myself. So at this point, it's not a matter of power, it's a matter of how long each combatant can hold out under the strain of their own forms. Pretty much, this final stage of the battle would be an endurance test. Regardless, it's safe to say that even with Naruto's newest form, the result of the fight would more or less still be in Goku's favor, unless the events of Boruto show Baryon mode having Naruto ascend to the power of a celestial god. So can Naruto beat Goku? Objectively speaking, probably not. Sorry, Naruto fans. I mean, technically, he still could if Naruto busted out that famous talk no jutsu, but pretty much I imagine this fight ending with those two having an immense respect for each other, and then going to gorge themselves on ramen after they've healed up for the fight. Best friends forever, y'all. Next week's combatant, Sailor Moon. And you can bet your ass we know exactly how this one is gonna turn out as we put to bed one of the oldest, most famous anime rivalries to date. That's it for this video. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Noir Caesar Entertainment for more in-depth, informative, educational, and entertaining analyses of your favorite anime, manga, video games, hentai, and more, all for the culture.